Good morning, everyone. Conn O'Brien's my name. I'm the Chair of Volunteering Victoria. I'd like to welcome you all to our annual general meeting for 2024. Note that the time is 11:31 and I would like to open this meeting by, I would like you to note that this meeting is being recorded. And I would like to open this meeting by an introduction from and welcome to country from Wurundjeri Elder Auntie Georgina Nicholson, which is a recorded message.
Yes, hello, thank you. My name is Georgina Nicholson and I am a proud Wurundjeri Woiwurrung woman. Wurundjeri being part of the Kulin Nation. The Kulin Nation consists of 5 clans, I believe, and they are Wurundjeri, Wathaurong, Tanarong, Dja Dja Wurrung and Boonwurrung. Wurundjeri being all of Melbourne CBD and extending north to the Great Divide, east to Mount Baw, south to Mordialloc Creek and west to the mouth of Werribee River. So I would like to acknowledge my ancestors who walked and lived on this land as free spirits for a very long time and left the land and waters in pristine condition. I would also like to acknowledge my elders past, present and emerging. And I would like to acknowledge everyone who's attending online today. So I would like to say thank you to Volunteering Victoria for having me today to do the Welcome to Country for your AGM. I would like to acknowledge the Chair, the CEO, members and other people from your sector attending today. So thank you. I would like to acknowledge and pay my respect to all Aboriginal, non-Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples online today and your elders also. Womanjika Wurundjeri Balak Yimun Kundibik. And I would just like to tell you what I've said in our Woiwurrung language, and that is welcome to the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people. My mother, Martha Margaret Nicholson, nee Terrick, she was delivered by her grandmother, Granny Jemima, and that was on Corrandirk Aboriginal Mission near the present-day town of Healesville. So our mother was already learning the importance of family, culture, connection to our land and country. Years later, our mother met a deadly Irish man in Melbourne in the early 1930s. Mummy and Daddy were married in a registry office, and they went on to having 16 children, 8 girls, 8 boys, all single babies, no twins, no cheating, LOL. My sister Pat Ockwell is the eldest and I'm the youngest. Sister Pat is a senior elder. She's in her late 80s now and she has done a lot of things for her people and communities over the years. That's for Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal people. They say in these statistics that Aboriginal people don't live as long as non-Aboriginal people, and this is so very true. That is why I always sort of say we are constantly in sorry business. There is quite a large gap there between Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal people. But Aboriginal culture is the oldest, longest living, continuing culture in the world. It dates back to 65,000 years plus. We have never ceded our sovereignty, so our ancestors never gave our land away, nor did they sell it. The lands were stolen from us when colonisation took place. I believe at present we are the only country that doesn't have a treaty, so hopefully that will change in the near future with the treaty starting up now in Victoria. Our Wurundjeri name comes from W-U-R-U-N, that is the managum tree, and the D-J-E-R-I is the grub that lived in the tree or around the tree. So Wurundjeri is made up of 3 family groups. The Terrick family, which is the banner I come under, the name, and it's probably the largest family, the Nevins and the Wandens. So Wurundjeri asks everyone to please look after the lands, the waters and everything on the lands and in the waterways, please. I hope you all have a great event today and thank you for having me. And I'd like to wish you all a lovely festive season coming up. Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie Georgina Nicholson, for that welcome to country. I, as chair, would like to recognise the traditional custodians of the various lands on which we are at the moment, and I'd like to pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. The next message we have is from the Minister. Now, the Minister is unable to attend today due to parliamentary commitments. However, she has provided us with a letter, which is included in the portal data that you have available to you. I would like to thank, on behalf of Volunteering Victoria, I'd like to thank the Victorian Government and the Minister for carers and volunteers in particular for their support throughout the year, which has been much appreciated by us. And while I'm on the topic, I would like to also thank the Commonwealth Government for their support of the sector throughout the year, which has been also quite significant and has been essential to the sector's development. Moving on, I would now officially declare the meeting open, and you have all seen the agenda. The procedures for voting, I should note that only full members may move or may move motions or vote specifically, and those full members are people who are representatives of not-for-profit organisations that are members of Volunteering Victoria, representatives of local government associations, and current directors. Associate members, be they corporate or individual, are entitled to ask questions or move motions to the board prior to the next general meeting. I need to confirm that we do have a quorum, which is 25 under our constitution, and in fact I have been advised that our quorum is in excess of that number, so we have a duly constituted meeting. Do we have any apologies? No apologies?
No new apologies, Con.
No new apologies, apart from those we have already received, which will be noted in the minutes. And there's no notices of motion or special resolutions been received for this particular meeting. I will point out that there will be questions. We will allow question time at the end of the meeting, and members may at any time communicate by placing comments or questions in the chat. Our staff are monitoring those, so we can follow that through. So you do have access, I think, to the chat forum. Can we move to the confirmation of the 2023 minutes? These have been distributed. I would ask firstly whether there are any proposed amendments or changes, other changes to these particular minutes. If anyone has any, could they please note that in the chat so I can see it, because I can't see everyone's hands. No, none there, in which case, can I ask for a mover and a seconder? Tom Connolly from Charity Consultants is happy to move it. Thank you, Tom. May I have a seconder? And Philip Dew has seconded that. All in favour? Are there any objections? Okay, all in favour. Thank you. I will take that as confirmed. Moving on to the Chair's report. Now, during the year, or in the latter part of the year, or just after the year, we didn't replace our existing, our previous chair, Roman Clark, resigned, and I was asked to step up as chair. So you've actually got two chairs here at the moment, a former one, an existing one. So with the chair's report, what we decided to do was to do a video involving the CEO and the two chairs answering various questions. That has been uploaded to the, again, to the annual impact report, which is available to you all. I would encourage you to review that at some stage. And if you do have any questions, please forward them to Volunteering Victoria, and we will be happy to respond to those. So rather than a formal report in there, we've got, as I said, a chair's update. Now moving on, the annual impact report itself has been uploaded. That contains a number of links and a number of reports. The most important of which is the financial report. And moving to the financial report, there's a couple of points that I would make. First of all, this report actually indicates to us that we have or indicates people that we have overall a healthy position, small increase in our assets. We currently are in a sustainable position. We have, during the year, distributed in excess of $800,000 in grants from various government agencies out to volunteering groups, to our partners in the community. I'm pretty pleased about that particular outcome. And we're not planning to rest on our laurels in that particular regard. We do acknowledge that our auditor did a thorough and detailed review of the accounts and has indicated that our position is our accounts are appropriate to accounting standards, and that we do have currently a healthy position and are likely to be able to meet our debts as and when they fall due. It is required that the members accept or otherwise the audit report for the financial year. So I would ask, this has been distributed to the to members. I would ask that someone move that the report be accepted. And Tom, you've come again. Thank you very much. So Tom Connolly has moved that the report be accepted. Do we have a seconder? Anita has seconded it, the report. So I would ask that the meeting confirms the report. And the best thing I can do here is ask, is there any objections to the acceptance of the report? If so, can you please put it in the chat? We have no objections, so I would confirm that I would see that the meeting has actually confirmed the auditor's report. So thank you very much for that. I would like to spend some time and ask your forbearance while I discuss the board of directors. First of all, I'd like to thank all the board members, including those who have stepped down during the year or at this meeting, for the commitment they've made to this organisation. Board members are, as you're aware, all volunteers. We receive no recompense for the work we do. And the work that we do is considerable. People have given up their time, they've provided resources, they've assisted the team in doing their work throughout the year. I'd particularly like to pay tribute to those directors who have stepped down for various reasons. One is Jeff Clark, who stepped down so that he could take on the role of CEO, a role that he has carried out very well indeed, in my opinion. Jeff actually had resigned in April 2024, so towards the end of the financial year. Veronica Chong also stepped down. She had previously been treasurer. Veronica stepped down. She is now actually providing support to our accounting team, to our finance team, and she has been largely responsible for the preparation of the accounts which we see, but she is now contracted to the organisation rather than being a director. I'd like to thank Veronica both for the work that she did as a director and also for the work that she's put into the accounts, which the auditors have indicated are in excellent shape. Finally, I would like to pay special tribute to our former chair, Bronwyn Clark. Now, Bron, as most of you would be aware, has been chair for I think 5 years. 5 years as chair, and prior to that, she was deputy for a year. She spent almost 9 years as a director of Volunteering Victoria. We are certainly going to miss Bron's, her chairmanship for a start, but secondly, her support as a director. It's been absolutely pleasure to work with her, and I am sorry that she's leaving. So I would like to ask someone if in fact they could move a particular motion of thanks to our retiring chair and retiring director, Bronwyn Clark. May I ask someone if they will move that? EV has moved that, so I assume, and Tom Connolly has seconded that. Oh, Viv, thank you, Viv, from EV for moving that. Tom for seconding that. Is there any comment or any objections to that particular motion? If so, that is confirmed. Thank you. The existing members of the board are, apart from me as chair at the moment, is Ash Lee, Kerry Urin, Clemens Unger, and two people that we have appointed recently to fill vacancies, who are Alec Lashevsky and Kalpana Ramani. I would like to ask, by the way, the short CVs of Alec and Cal are actually included in the in the papers which have been distributed to you. I would like to ask the board to confirm the appointments of Alec and Kalpana for the coming 3 years. And I'd like a motion for that, please. Someone move that, maybe, okay, and that's Viv again, one would assume. Viv, thank you, happy to move. Tom Connolly has seconded that. All those in favour? Well, let me see, has anyone got any questions or objections? If not, I declare Alec and Kalpana as confirmed for the next 3 years. Ash Lee has her first 3-year term as a director has been completed. She's offered herself for the position, there being no other parties who have nominated. Then I declare that Ash Lee has also been reappointed as a director of Volunteering Victoria. Thank you for that. I'd like now to ask Jeff Sharp to provide a brief report. Now, Jeff has stepped in, as he has done on previous occasions, as CEO of Volunteering Victoria at relatively short notice. We have confirmed his position, and the board has confirmed his position. He has been in the past a long-serving board member. I've worked with Jeff for a considerable period of time, and I'm now working with him in his position as CEO. And he's done a marvellous job, but I don't want to jump ahead on that. I'll let Jeff tell you himself about what a marvellous job he's been doing. So I'm passing over to Jeff.
Thank you, Con. Much appreciated, and a bit of mutual admiration here. It's been a joy to work with you and the board. I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners. I'm on Wurundjeri and Boonwurrung lands here, and I acknowledge their history and elders, past, present, and anyone here in this call who brings First Nations, the heritage, or that connection to the land, that wherever you might be, and acknowledge that connection, that history. Can I just reinforce what Con said earlier and direct you to what I think is a really cool bit of kit with our impact report online this year. Instead of producing a fly swatter to kill a few trees on paper, we've created an interactive web page. And big thanks to Jen and the whole team for putting that together. Hopefully it's a lot more interesting and provides you with a real sense of all the different things that are happening. I do want to highlight the State of Volunteering Research project that is ongoing at the moment. Working incredibly hard. We've got 25 focus groups happening across the state. We do have one piece of survey work that's still out there, which is if you lead volunteers in any way, shape, or form, or you know anyone who leads volunteers, please head to our website, hit the SOVR button. We really need as many people as possible to complete that. We've done a public survey. This is about the people that lead volunteers. And we also have some opportunities open on that same page to actually participate in some more research. We're looking for male volunteers, those who identify as male, emergency-related volunteers for the second week of December, and political volunteers. So if you've ever manned a polling booth or hustings, part of a political party, we'd really love to speak to you as well, make sure we get a real insight into all the different types of volunteering, which, as I say, are represented, and we're looking forward to the report in March here, and big acknowledgement of the Victorian government for funding that bit of work. It's going to give us a lot of insight into volunteering. I want to acknowledge the staff for their commitment and their hard work. I want to acknowledge the volunteers that we have, especially our board, who put in hours and hours of work, but also the active volunteers for many of our events, for our media work, for engagement. I want to acknowledge the members of our advisory and special interest groups, some of whom I can see are actually on the call today. I haven't got time to call out each one of you, but deeply, deeply grateful for your wisdom and input down through all of the meetings that we've had and conversations. Really appreciate that. I acknowledge our partners in volunteer involving organizations, government, some of whom are here, and acknowledge your hard work and your presence in the community, and our consortium partners who are delivering work right across the state in the 8 different regions. We think you're an amazing group. It's a pleasure to work with you. And last of all, I want to acknowledge the members that are here. We are a membership-based organization. I'm proud to say that, and it is amazing when you look at our membership list, actually how many, there's no such thing as a volunteering sector. We have so many sectors that sit under volunteering. And I think, Con, you've even gone so far as to call it a volunteering multiverse to give Marvel a run for their money. So the volunteering field is just massive, and it goes across so many different sectors. And we're really seeing that come through that State of Volunteering Research. And it's a genuine privilege and honor to work with so many of you. I want to acknowledge your work out in community, because volunteering is genuinely what makes our communities thrive. It's often said that the lifeblood of community. I actually think is that they are community. We're community that it's most vital when we give to each other simply because we care and because we're passionate about what happened. Thank you very much. Appreciate you all being here. Thank you, Con. Back to you.
Thank you, Jeff. And as I said, Jeff has been doing a sterling job, and the plans he has for 2025 are really impressive. Now, being an AGM, we're unable to take motions from the floor which are not already in the agenda, but we're perfectly happy to answer any questions that anyone would wish to raise. You can do it through the group chat, or you can turn off your mute and ask a question directly. So we're happy to take any questions. I'm throwing it open to you before we close the meeting. So do we have any questions? Or general comments about Volunteering Victoria or the volunteering sector generally?
Jeff, I have a quick question about the survey. It's the last week, and can you please let us know how many survey responses we have collected so far?
I actually don't know the answer to that question. I'll see if I
Sorry.
can find it and follow it up. I do know the general population survey that we put out was nearly 2,500 people. So that was a randomized section of the population, so a very healthy population. But in terms of the leaders, I actually don't know how many have completed it so far. So oh, Jess has just messaged me saying at this point we've got 250 responses. So it would be great to get over 300. So feel free to share it, but it does close tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Fantastic, thank you.
Anyone else?
It's Tom here. Just I guess from my message as well, and I just want to make it very clear that I really appreciate working with the team as well. Leading the First Nations Committee, being one of the first committees, I think that actually started with the population group. So that's really exciting, and working with everyone at the conference and everyone that also helped us with the yarning circle and just the amazing adoption that all of our community leaders are doing in our First Nations and diversity and inclusion space. Really well done, and thank you everyone. Yeah, so I look forward to seeing most of the VV team next week. Yeah, and congratulations and very well done to Catherine, Sarah, Jeff, and the team who literally just run on eggshells. You all do an amazing job, so well done. And thanks, Con, for stepping up as chair. So welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate the comments. There have been a couple of questions come through, which are basically one of which is Philip Dew has just recently come through asking if in fact we have a link for applying for the grants that we provide. I'll get Jeff to respond to that shortly, Philip. In fact, Jeff, you might be able to respond to that.
Yep, absolutely. There's no grants open at the moment. We've just concluded one round. Any that will come live will go on our website where they're open to the general population. But as far as I know, we're not currently expecting any in the next few months, but people should, and here I sound like a marketer, make sure you register for our newsletter, because that will give you all the updates that you need about any grants that are open. So make sure that you're signed up for the newsletter. You can grab that off our website. And I'm sure Jen, who does the newsletter, will post the link in the chat to where you can sign up for the newsletter and make sure you're up to date on any grants coming out.
Jeff, I confirm you did sound like a marketer there, but still, it's all in a good cause. Thanks, Philip. I hope that's okay for you. We're running out of time here, but I'm happy to take one last question if there's anyone else. If not, then I would like to thank you all for attending. We do depend on our members, and we will do our best for you in the coming year. And we're here for you. We're not here for us. So thank you all for attending, and I'll formally close the meeting. Thank you.